It's a Merry Christmas Eve.
Yes.
This is our wonderful producer, Joseph, who graciously is taking a second out from producing tonight to join us on Caroline and Rashi.
Yes.
Let's hear it for Joseph.
Thanks, guys.
We have a live audience. I love
know, right?
it. Joseph, where are you from?
I'm from Houston originally, but I grew up in Phoenix.
Okay.
So kind of all over the place. And then there was Oklahoma when I went to college. So it's just all
Where'd you
over
go
the
to
place.
college?
Northwestern Oklahoma State University, not the Northwestern in Chicago.
Okay.
Every time I say that, I always have to kind of like
Just let him
get
think
in.
that, whatever.
Oklahoma State University. Yeah.
That's so funny. I love that. Well, I'm so
Yeah.
happy. So Joseph has a love and appreciation for entertainment news,
yes.
just like me and Rashi do. So
Oh my gosh, it's the best.
we have a lot to get into.
We do, yes.
On this Christmas Eve, the tea is piping hot. We are talking about the lawsuit that Blake Lively filed.
Juicy.
So let me just kind of go over what happened here and then we'll talk about it. So Blake Lively is continuing to receive a lot of support after filing a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment, retaliation, and infliction of emotional distress. Some of her co-stars in It Ends With Us, a movie that came out a few months ago based on a very popular book. Well, they have urged their followers to educate themselves on the lawsuit, showing Blake Lively that they are supporting her. So what happened here? Well, months after rumors of an on-set feud between It Ends With Us co-star Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni first surfaced, the Gossip Girl alum, because we all know Blake from Gossip Girl, filed a complaint against the actor for sexual harassment. Now, according to court documents obtained by Fox Digital, the complaint, which was filed with the California Civil Rights Department, details allegations of sexual harassment, retaliation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, and more. On January 4th, an all-hands meeting was convened to actually address a hostile work environment that had nearly derailed the production of the It Ends With Us movie. And basically, Ryan Reynolds attended, a lot of other people from this movie attended. Blake Lively apparently was forced to address some concerns about Mr. Baldoni, according to this lawsuit, and this other person who was working on set, Mr. Heath. This involved misconduct with them directly, and they began doing so for months before filming even began. That's where these problems kind of all started. And according to these documents, some of these demands addressed in this complaint included no more showing nude videos or images of women to Blake, no more mention of Baldoni or Heath's previous pornography addiction. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. So basically, at the time, all parties agreed that this conduct would cease, but apparently that didn't really happen. Basically, Baldoni executed and participated in a social media manipulation campaign to destroy Blake Lively and her reputation. This all came out when the movie was coming out, and now, boom, the lawsuit was dropped. So that's kind of the backstory. I know it's a lot to take in.
That's even more than what I had initially kind of heard about. So what's alleged in this whole thing, like, mind blown. And I kind of, I feel so bad because, you know, sometimes just as a viewer just consuming all of this stuff, you're like, oh, so, you know, then you start going down the rabbit hole. And then you read and you see videos of like these TikTokers that are going through, like they have the actual facts and stuff. And you're like, I can kind of see that. Then you see that there's a little bit more to the story. And I'm like, well, now I feel like a fool.
I know. I think generally we were all in a way fooled because when the lawsuit basically says that because things were so bad on set, Justin hired this PR firm, Justin Baldoni, who served as the director and one of the main stars in the film, who's shown in that video, the dark hair guy. A great movie, by the way.
Ryle,
can I just
yes.
say? And
I mean,
he read the book and watched the movie.
It was so good. So I was so excited, and I saw the preview. I was like hyped up for it. Then the movie, it comes out, but then there was like some tension before.
Oh, yeah.
And then during the actual like premiere, then all of this stuff started coming out. And I was like, and then you started paying attention to who was on press junkets and tours and who wasn't a part of, because Justin did his thing separately. Would go on, you know, different morning shows.
He wasn't seen with Blake Lively and the rest of the cast members. They were always separate, and it was so weird. And this smear campaign happens. Justin hired this PR firm, and part of their duty was to run this smear campaign on Blake Lively before this lawsuit came came out.
And to that point, because I know she comes from a machine. You know, she's Deadpool's wife, so I
Yeah.
thought, oh well, that's Ryan Reynolds'
Yeah.
wife. I thought, well, they probably have a lot more pull in Hollywood.
Yep.
So that was in my mind. I was like, I mean, that's kind of good that he's like trying to get in front of it, saying, this is kind of what my experience has been. I got on as a director. I secured the rights through my production company,
Yeah.
and then all of this, the backlash, not knowing kind of what we've heard today.
Yeah, because we heard all that from Justin Baldoni.
Right.
So it was like, oh my gosh. And Justin Baldoni is known as this humanitarian that does great work,
Yes.
a champion of females, yada, yada, yada. Some of those awards have now been revoked. He got dropped from his agency because of this lawsuit. Like,
This is even
it
more
is
than what
just,
I've heard.
whoo, oh yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, I thought to myself, well, that's smart to hire the PR person. Then when you hear the PR person that had been repped,
There are
for
text messages too in this lawsuit that
Oh,
is like, we're
yes.
going to destroy her.
and bury them, and then
Yeah.
they just kept seeing everyone that was on social media, and they were like, "This is good for our cause. This is
Yep.
good for our cause." And you're thinking to yourself, "What?" Like, in hindsight, you're like, all of these messages are going right back to you, and
that
it's making you
crazy?
look really bad.
I mean, when this drama was unfolding, though, so Joseph, our producer right here, and Abby, our other producer,
Yes.
you guys read a lot,
Yes.
right? You read
Yes,
a lot,
oh,
right?
yeah, yes.
Okay.
Bookworm, yes.
Okay, yeah.
100.
So they're always chatting about like books by
Mm-hmm.
my desk, and you guys had read it, and then you were telling me about the movie and Blake Lively and like the whole
Yes.
backstory. And I think that anybody who read the book, plus anyone that's a fan of Blake Lively, was like highly anticipating this movie. This was
Yes.
like back, would it come out like in the summer-ish, right?
Yes,
Summer or
yeah.
fall. Anyway, it's out on. I watched it on Netflix recently. And we were just talking about, because I didn't know anything, but I knew about the drama because I'm like an entertainment news kind of girl.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh my gosh. And you guys were explaining the book. And now I was honestly like, what is wrong with Blake? But now I'm
yes,
like,
I know,
oh
same.
my gosh.
Because I'm original Gossip Girl, like,
Yeah.
Serena, like, I was like, yes. So Blake, I followed her in her career, just liking the movies that she's been in and TV shows. So that's why I was just like, really? But then you hear of like
Yeah.
stars that you think are like, not perfect, but that are good people, and then you find out you see bad interviews, and then that interview that she did with the entertainment reporter,
Yeah.
that came out shortly
A
after.
while
So
back.
it just was like,
But that was,
mounting
I
and
think
mounting
that
and
was
mounting.
probably like dropped by the PR.
Well,
firm.
okay, and I will say this: she did go on a TV show and was like an entertainment source, and was like, "No, I was not hired. I was not." She's just said
wow.
that when she kind of saw what was happening, she was like, "Well, this was my experience with Blake Lively," and so
okay,
it just
yeah.
may have just been
Yeah,
bad
there was
timing.
like this interview that came out where Blake Lively was not very professional during an interview.
Yes.
But I'm thinking, did Justin Baldoni's people like put that out there?
It was on the internet already.
It was
so-
on the internet. You're right. I know.
Who
So they
knows?
didn't really have to do any. I don't know, but it didn't look good on her part.
Right.
Her reputation. She was being dragged through the mud. I was like, oh, she must be really. But now to see this, I'm like, you really cannot believe
No.
what you're hearing, because
Mm-hmm.
there's two sides to every story, and what we're hearing now is like, I sent it all to my sister because my sister works in Hollywood and she's on sets a lot, and I was like, read this, listen to everything. This is what's not appropriate on set.
Right. And a lot of her castmates from the Traveling Pants, they
Yeah.
stood in
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, yeah.
And then her sister, who's Robin Lively from the 80s, that Teen Witch, I don't know if you guys remember that movie.
yeah, I do.
Yeah. So she has been in support and has like screenshots of like different things that she's experienced. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much that you
And
can
that's the
listen to
thing,
and
like
see.
when this stuff happens, at the end of the day, it's going to make the workplace in Hollywood or just anywhere better for women
Yes.
in general, I think,
And
because it's like,
The spotlight needed to be
yeah,
on this to highlight.
it's a horrible situation, but even if only half of what's in there is true, it's strong enough to be really unsettling and super uncomfortable and unprofessional. So I hope it makes it a better atmosphere for people who are working on sets
Right.
or just anywhere in general.
Yes, because I feel like
That's
Hollywood is the
uncomfortable.
last check, like
Yeah.
that doesn't get it's not taken care of, and like the proper procedures and professionalism.
Yeah.
Like I think that there's a lot that people can still sweep under the rug, and I think that the light is finally being shed on it.
What I don't know, I think she's more, because she's married to Ryan Reynolds. She's a very successful actor. So I feel like she, this is her proving a point that she was mistreated. There was misconduct on the set. Like, what else would she, like, she's not trying to, I don't believe she's trying, she doesn't need like to gain anything financially. So it's like, she literally just is like, this is what happened and it's wrong. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens.
Exactly.
But my goodness. All right, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. This is our Christmas Eve episode. I see you wore your festive.
I didn't even think about it. I should have worn red or something. I almost wore a red shirt.
It has a Christmas tree on it, I
yeah,
think.
Yeah,
right?
It's pineapple, but yeah.
Okay.
Now listen, a Hawaiian Christmas.
It's a Hawaiian Christmas.
Yes.
Yes, I dressed like the Grinch today or something. I'm not sure, but I was like, I have to wear it today because it's Christmas Eve. So this is a little Christmas story that I actually saw on TikTok.
Oh.
And I have a really hard time with this stuff when it involves kids because I think it could be damaging to the kids. So I'm going to let you watch it real quick. So basically, here's what happened. A mother may have gone too far with her latest elf. I mean, this is funny. I'll preface this. This is hilarious, but I'm just like, I feel bad. With her latest elf on the shelf. So you know the elf on the shelf.
Oh, yes,
you hide it. You can't touch it.
We have our own personal Snoop on our stoop.
Yeah, I was elfed yesterday. I should have put that in the show. But anyway, her daughter did not take this elf on the shelf moment too well. Just watch.
It says, "Dear Molly, my Christmas magic faded away."
Oh.
You
Should have
listened to your mom.
What? Oh my God!
Yep, the daughter becomes very distraught when she sees the elf is just bones. She's visibly torn up about it, running up and down the house, even asking for another chance and telling her mom that she loves her. You know, everybody has their own different style of parenting. I just feel so bad because look at her. She's so upset. This video goes on and on and on. She's so distraught.
Oh my gosh, she's running in place. She's so upset.
She's so upset. She's crying. I just don't like that this mom like shows her kid this upset. Like, I think it's really funny to show the elf with the bones and be like, look, you know, maybe my kid wasn't listening and that's what I did. But this to me makes me sad.
That's like psychological,
right?
Like warfare. Like that's horrible. And not the chicken bones. Come on.
I know the chicken bones. But I love what the mom did with the creativity of like, look, you're not gonna listen. Your freaking elf lost its magic and it's the bones. Like, how funny. I just have an issue with putting kids on the internet crying.
Yes.
You know, she looks old enough that kids are on the internet, and this video went viral. Like, when I looked at it, it was like at 1 million likes already. Like, and I looked at it over 24 hours ago.
And you know, I'm a product of the 80s. I am so glad that none of the stuff that happened when we were kids, I can see, because I mean, it's so horrible. And for that to live on forever.
I know.
And then like in 10 years, she's gonna be like, you know, going to college, and people are like, oh, you're that little girl that cried for
over the chicken bones. And it's just like I know, like, okay, we grew up on America's Funniest Home Videos, right?
Oh, yes.
Do you remember watching that?
Oh my gosh,
like there were really funny. We loved it. Like we loved that show, and sometimes like kids would fall or cry or whatever. So I guess we're sort of like in the day and age of like, you know, that it's like America's Funniest Home Videos, but it's on the internet. But I don't know if I could like put a kid on the internet crying like that.
Yeah.
It seems so mean.
I mean, and they were so distraught.
She literally like opens the fridge and just like closes it, and she's like running and like.
Because it's like one thing, like during Halloween when they, they wake up the next day and all their candy's gone.
Oh my God, that even breaks my heart too.
Okay.
I don't think I could do it.
I know, but I mean, it's not like you're saying, oh, you didn't listen to your mom, so now like he just got.
He's dead.
Yeah,
he lost his
exactly.
magic. He's dead. Here's the chicken bones. It's just like,
and
I mean, it is funny. And at least the comments that I was seeing, they were like funny comments and like.
Oh, that's good.
I don't want to say positive comment, but everyone thought it was like funny and like, But I don't know. I don't know. It just makes me sad.
Yeah, it's a fine line. And I guess being a parent, you got to kind of know what lands and what might be a little harmful to kids. But
I feel like she's going to have some psychological damage to her over the elf that turned to chicken.
girl.
We'll be right back. Joseph, do you... Santa!
NORAD!
There's Santa!
Where is he right now?
Where is he right now? Oh my goodness. He's crossing the ocean.
Yes.
Well, yes, this is where you can track Santa Claus coming to town. NORAD does this every year. I used to look at this when I was a kid. We get so excited.
Yes, and then another thing that I didn't know was kind of around until I got to be an adult, but it's so fun.
It's so fun. Oh, this wasn't a thing for you as growing up?
No.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
You were born in the 80s?
84, yeah.
See, I was 93, so I had it growing up.
See, I don't remember that.
Oh, I remember
because
it.
We didn't have internet. Like, did you call a 1-800 number?
You didn't have internet?
No.
Oh my gosh!
We didn't get internet until 99. Aging myself.
I guess so. Okay, I remember I was young and we had it, like we would go to our big computer once we got home real late at night and check it. And then I played along with it for a while because my sister's 5 years younger. So we would, we would play along.
That is
I never
so
spoiled
crazy.
Christmas for her.
Wait, so you had internet in like the 90s? Like,
Well, I was born in 93, so
okay,
by
that
the
makes
time I
sense.
could like remember stuff, yeah, we had the internet.
Yeah, we didn't get a computer, much less internet, until around 99. It
Oh,
was right
yeah,
before
that's probably when we
Y2K, because that was the whole thing. We just
Yeah.
got a computer and we're like, wait, it might just shut
Ooh,
down.
That's so funny.
Yes.
But by that point, you were like not tracking Santa.
No.
Yeah. I still was for a while, and then
I love
kept it going because my older cousins always kept like the whole Christmas thing going for us.
Yes.
So I was like a nice big sister and kept like the whole Santa Claus
That is
thing
so
going
cool.
for like my sister.
Yeah, I did the same thing when you kind of
Yeah.
learned. Yeah, we would, we still kept it going.
A lot of big brothers and sisters would be like, "Ah," spoil
Right.
it. But I think because my cousins all played along, then
It
like
just
I
kept
did
the
the same
magic
thing.
alive.
Yeah, it was
And
fun.
I love doing that.
And nobody wanted to spoil Lexi's Christmas. Like,
No.
it's Santa. He's
Yes.
coming,
And even
Santa.
though you razz your brother and your sisters, there's just one thing that is just so sacred, and that's Christmas.
I agree. So we always like played big into that.
But also, my little brother was born on Christmas Eve.
No
I had to text him actually
way.
today because I was like, "Happy birthday!" I was like totally out of it because it doesn't feel like Christmas
that's
Eve when you're having
funny.
to work and stuff.
You
so
know, it could be a fun thing though because everyone's getting together anyway, so more reason to celebrate and party.
yes,
Right.
100%.
Happy birthday to your brother.
Yes.
But I was
Thank-
just going to remind you guys because if you're watching us live on Christmas Eve, it is 3:53. That means you have about 2 to 4 hours to go and pick up something at the grocery store. If you forgot anything, this is my warning to you. Many stores are open now. They do close about 6 or 8 o'clock. It looks like H-E-B closes at 8, and most Krogers are staying open until 9 o'clock tonight. Okay, that gives you an extra hours. You have about 5 hours if you need anything. Costco is closing at 5, Walmart and Sam's Club at 6, and Whole Foods is actually open until 7. So if you need anything, go get it. I went to the Central Market today.
Love Central Market.
Psychopathically busy.
Oh.
There was no parking. I mean, there were people parking like in shopping centers down the street and walking over like I went about noon. Every single parking spot was filled. I needed rotisserie chickens for a soup that we make.
Yes.
It's called wedding soup. It's really big in Pennsylvania. So my mom's like, she literally was like, meatballs made it through the TSA line. She's on her way now.
That's
so
hilarious.
the little meatballs wedding soup it's an Italian wedding soup. It's huge in like the Northeast.
Yes.
And so it has like little pastini balls, meatballs, and like spinach. It's so
Isn't there
good.
like a quinoa or some sort of pasta?
It's a little pastini ball.
Yes,
It's
that's
actually
what
it's
it
just
is. It's
pasta.
so
Yeah,
good.
it's
I
so
love
good.
wedding soup.
Anywho, you either have to get like my mom would normally just make the chicken in the crock pot, which I could have done. I did that like 2 weeks ago, but I just wanted a rotisserie
the time.
chicken, just save time and effort, whatever. And we walk around to grab the rotisserie chicken. There are 3 left. I'm like, Connor, grab the chickens. he goes like running over and grabs 2 of the chickens. There's only 1 left, but it was
every Christmas
crazy.
movie, running instead of like the last like Tickle Me Elmo with the last rotisserie chicken.
Like rather, I mean, like I couldn't have gotten like a chicken in the chicken aisle and cooked it, but it's just easier to have the rotisserie chicken.
Save the time.
My sister is gluten-free, so we have to make like separate things for her, which is and adventurous.
Yes, food sensitivity, especially around the holidays.
Do you make anything special? That's our one special thing is like wedding soup.
We do tamales.
Oh,
usually.
nice! Yes.
Yes, but then like with my other family, we do more of a traditional, so it's like ham, turkey.
Oh, that's
It's almost like
nice.
Thanksgiving, but yeah, I love when
A lot
we
of
do
people
the,
do that. But the tamales are great. We did tamales when we celebrated Christmas with my boyfriend's family this past weekend. We had the tamales, and they really love that because they're from California, and that's what they grew up on. Yeah.
Come on, yes. Cali Max?
Yeah,
Love
it
that.
was good. And so anyway, it was fun, but we do like biscuits and gravy tomorrow morning, and then we'll do like a big Christmas dinner with like the wedding soup and all that. So it'll be fun. I just hope everyone gets here. We're experiencing some severe weather here in Houston.
Yes.
So I'm like, please, please, please get here.
Be careful on the roads.
I know. The traffic wasn't as bad today, but people are still stressed right now, so definitely be careful.
And when the weather starts to play a factor in it.
Even worse.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. If you're driving to families' houses tonight, be careful. Merry Christmas. I hope you are all having fun and enjoying the day.
Happy Hanukkah too, because the two fall on the same day.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
See?
the first day, yeah.
And thanks for joining us for this Christmas Eve episode of Caroline and Rashi. Bye, friends.
Bye, guys.
Sayonara.